Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. It's just finished Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 0 in the FA Cup. We're outside Stamford Bridge. We're going to a replay. I'm here with Nina. Not the best game today. Obviously, we probably should have won that game. We had plenty of chances, but as usual, we didn't take them. I thought, we were decent today. Villa were there for the taking as their strongest lineup. It was a positive performance as such, but I just feel that we could live to regret not taking those chances, with Villa Park being a really tough place to go for the replay. I mean, what are your thoughts on today?
Yeah, I agree. Like, a goalless draw is never the most entertaining of games, but at the end of the day, I don't think either of the teams did enough really or capitalised on their chances to win. So I think a replay is fair. Although the only thing that I'm annoyed about is the fact that we could have done without another replay or another fixture in the fixture list, considering we've got some tough games coming up. We're also entering that difficult run of the reverse fixtures we've got to play, and obviously, we've got a cup final to play at the end of next month. And considering we've got a lot of injuries as well, I really think we could have killed this game off and not had to worry about an extra game. But yeah, it is what it is. I just think that it's sort of the same as the Borough game. We should have really had the job done in the first leg. It took a second leg and coming to Stamford Bridge to get the job done. But yeah, at the end of the day, we didn't take our chances, but Villa didn't either. So I guess, yeah, a draw is fair.
Yeah, it probably is on reflection, but I just sense of frustration because we should have put that game to bed, and it's another unneeded game, another tough trip to Villa Park. But in terms of what we saw tonight, I thought Pochettino got it pretty much spot on. Obviously, Ben Chilwell not starting, annoying as it is, it's the right decision given his injury issues. We saw 4 centre-backs at the back. Levi Cole got injured in the warm-up, not ideal. Alfie Gilchrist came in and started. We saw Badia Shield play left-back for a little bit as well. What do you make of those two? Because Badia Shield not in his natural position. This is the first time he's played there. I actually thought he did all right, and I thought Gilchrist was pretty decent as well.
Yeah, there was a couple of mistakes from Badia Shield. Again, a bit sort of shaky on control, but he's very dominant aerially, and I think we lack that in our team. So aerially, he can win you a fair 50-50 duels. So good on that behalf. And to be fair, you can only do sort of what's in front of you and what's given to you. And at the end of the day, if that's the case, and you live up to it, you don't make mistakes or you're not punished for it, then you can't really criticise too much. I think Alfie Gilchrist, again, if he considering wasn't supposed to start at all in this game, to take the opportunity to seize it and earn a start is not so bad. I'm not going to be too quick and too overly hailing Alfie Gilchrist. He's a good player, he seems talented, but whether he's ready to be a sort of a regular starter in this team, I think he still has some weaknesses, and I think moving forward he doesn't offer as much as a fullback will. But that being said, he's meant to be a centre-back, isn't he? So not only is he starting when he's not that ready, but he's also playing out of position. So yeah, impressive on the most part. Badia Shield, again, like I said, bit of a shaky moment, but nothing too worrying that, again, would have punished us tonight.
And a word on the manager tonight, Pochettino. He's coming for a lot of criticism recently. A lot of fans don't particularly think he's the right man for the job and want him gone. We're 10 unbeaten at home now. We're in a Carabao Cup final. I thought he coached a good performance tonight. With 3 or 4 points off 6th. Things aren't as bad as people are making out. What have you made of the job that he's starting to, the results he's picking up, and just what he's doing in general? Because I actually think he's doing all right.
Yeah, look, it's been turbulent. It's been in no means an easy sort of start to life at Chelsea for him. He's been faced with a lot of challenges, and we cut him a lot of leeway for that, don't we? He's had injuries. He's not even had a regular starting 11 to play and experiment with. He's barely had 2 fullbacks available for more than 2 games this season as well, which, tells you everything you need to know. But again, it's this game tonight will reflect that there's bigger problems than just the manager. Our players can't finish their chances. How is that on Pochettino? The fact that it's the wrong decision made in that final third more time than not is worrying. Broja came on. What can you do? That's what we wanted from Pochettino. He did that. He brought on an actual striker. And what did he do? A heavy touch in a moment where he was through on goal. That should have been a goal. And when you are 0-0 at home in a game where you don't really want a replay, that really should be going in. And I know he's not the only one. He's not solely to blame because he only played 15 minutes tonight. But, when you look at our bench and you look at how much refreshment we have, there's not that much. Our bench at times looks very depleted. And again, it's what attacking force can you really bring on? And unfortunately, that's the case because of injuries again and whatnot, so there's not much there, but I still think we've got enough quality. We should have enough quality to be finding the net. Again, it's if you don't capitalise, the other team will. Tonight we were just lucky that Aston Villa didn't put those chances away, and this is where I should really praise Petrovic as well, because he prevented at least 2 or 3 goals there scored. So you're looking at a lost game, and who's to blame for that? Well, the players that didn't score their chances, because at the end of the day, are you really going to look at our goalkeeper if he concedes when you fail to score at least 3-4 chances tonight?
I mean, obviously, the missed chances again highlights our need for a number 9. We know that. We know it. It's hard to get someone in January.
Yeah.
The main targets, your Simmons, your Tonys, are not going to be going anywhere this month. And then we've been linked with the likes of, Callum Wilson for 18 to 20 million pounds. Newcastle needing to sell some players, could be an experienced option, 31 years of age. Linked with Benzema, again, could be available for loan. But the wages are ridiculous. I don't think anyone's going to end up getting him at all. What do you think's going to happen this month? I don't want us to rush and panic buy someone, but again, another game which highlights further that we are desperate for a 9. Do you see us doing anything in the last 3 or 4 days of the window in terms of the striker?
Look, again, like I said, I don't think we should panic buy. That's the last thing I want us to do. But I just think that judging by how our strikers are at the minute, I think maybe something does need to be done, at least short term until the end of the season, because we're really going to struggle. It's not just tonight that we failed to capitalise. There's been so many games this season where we've said we've only walked away with a point when it should have been 3. And why should have it been 3? Because chances should have been put away, and they haven't been, time and time again. And I just truly think that we are missing a target man. I don't think that Broja is a target man, and at times Nicholas Jackson fails to do that either, because he gravitates towards the wings so much. When your strikers are on the wings, you've got no one in the middle, and I really don't fancy Palmer or Sterling playing as false 9. So that just tells you that clearly transfer business was incomplete last season, because as much as Jackson has got some goals to back up, to sort of make you think that he can score for you, at the same time he's unreliable, and we've already seen him suspended once. He picks up needless yellows at times. That's also worrying. He's away at AFCON now, so we've only got Broja as an out-and-out number 9, but you see that firstly he's not even a favourite to start, because Pochettino doesn't start him. He'd rather play a false 9 than start an out-and-out number 9, and when he does come on, what does he offer? And look, I do cut him slack, because returning from an ACL is always difficult for a player. Not everyone makes the same recovery, but I think what people forget is that Broja wasn't even really playing regularly before that injury, really, was he? He was a sub, a super sub, sometimes maybe got the odds few games in a cup here and there, but he wasn't a regular starter, and now we're almost expecting him to step up in this role of a first pick number 9, but he isn't that, and it's already more difficult because of the injury. So when you take those 2 factors, I don't think it's good enough. This is not a good enough striker option moving forward. We've still got something to play for this season. Even though the Premier League looks far reach, we've still got games to win. We still want to look semi-competitive, and we have a cup final to play in.
Yeah, no, we do. I mean, ultimately, I don't think Broja is good enough. Whether we sell him this window or not, he's not going to be here next season. But let's throw it ahead. Wednesday night, another massive game. Head to Anfield, Liverpool away. It's taking a bit of extra spice in it now with Jurgen Klopp announcing he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. So it's probably just got a little bit tougher. It tends to end in a draw. 8 or 9 of the last matches against Liverpool have all been draws. How do you see this one going? How do you see us approaching it? Do you think we've got it in us to get a result there?
I'm terrified of going to Anfield, I can't even lie to you, and obviously the news this morning has just added to that, because I think Liverpool looks scary without Salah, with Salah, without Trent Alexander-Arnold with him. I mean, they have so many options, and when you look at their bench, they have options to bring in. They have refreshment, and when you take out sort of regular starters, they have second players that can live up in that role and not take out as much quality, and we don't have that, and that's already where we're miles apart in terms of squad, in terms of system, in terms of an affinity with the manager as well. So when you look at it that side, the odds really aren't in our favour. But like you said, I think one thing that we always do when we play Liverpool is turn up mentally. So I'm just hoping on that. I'm just hoping that we turn up, give them a game, and hopefully, even take a draw against Liverpool. I mean, they are in really good form, and losing to a Liverpool side wouldn't be so surprising.
I mean, how do you see the rest of the season going right now? Obviously, we're coming up to the end of January. We've got a cup final, as I said. We're still in the FA Cup. We're 3 or 4 points off 6th, as I mentioned earlier. I mean, what realistically do you think we can achieve this season? Because I'm looking at it, and I think there's still a lot on the table for us to do. But equally, we could end up with absolutely nothing as well. I mean, how do you see us kind of progressing in this second half of the season?
I mean, it's not all doom and gloom, you know. Like I said, we've still got a cup final to play for. We are literally a game away from potentially winning a trophy. And I know I just talked about not thinking we can beat Liverpool, but we've been in those cup finals and we know that we genuinely can get something out of it. It's just as long as it doesn't get to another penalty shootout. But, you know, there's still something to play for. And I think that separates us from having a really good season. I think we can all sort of hand on heart say that, because if we'd looked back maybe 2 or 3 months ago, we would have probably laughed if someone had told us that we'd be this close to winning a trophy this season. In the Premier League, I can't lie to you, I'm not that hopeful, but I genuinely think that we're also not far reach. But if we get our act together, that's all it takes. If we can get through this horrific run again that's coming up, but that's what it takes. It's coming up toe to toe to these teams that we've already shown that we can actually, you know, put a good show on, put a good performance on. At times it has again just been that sort of final third, the lack of quality to finish our chances, but we can compete and we have shown that. Again, maybe if it's a case of having our fullbacks fit again, I think we get so much more out. You know, at the moment we've got Gusto out, we've got James out, we've got Chilwell who's just returning from an injury himself, and also who's our other?
Cucurella's out.
And Cucurella as well. So again, you're looking at a lot of experience in those roles, and you're looking at a lot of creativity. So you've taken that out completely. We're now playing centre backs in those roles, so we're automatically weaker. Sorry, I just spat on you.
Don't worry about it. Just make me ill. And yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
We're automatically weaker. So I think that when Poch has those fullbacks back, and then we've got so much more creativity, we have crosses as opposed to just sort of getting to those final areas in the box and then just playing it side to side because there's nothing to do and we have no ways of breaking through. Fullbacks will provide you that. So I think, again, it's just a case of having everyone fit. And then let's not forget about our superstar in Kunku. He's still yet to return, and I think he's got so much to add to this team. So we have things to look forward to. Again, I haven't written this season off as a complete failure. I still think that we can be a bit competitive, but we really do have to finish our chances.